On behalf of VMware and Carahsoft, we would like to welcome you to today's podcast, Future-Proofing Your Customer's Business with Modern Application Technologies from VMware. Today's speakers are Andrew Berenato and Paul Maunder.
Welcome, everyone. Really excited to be chatting with all you partners who joined us today. My name is Andrew, and I look after our regional sales, services, and solution provider partners for Tanzu. Really excited to be joined by Paul Maunder, who leads our SLED business. He's going to be giving you an overview about the opportunity we all have to help our customers with app modernization and tying together app and cloud modernization. Paul's an amazing resource. Some of you probably already know Paul. He's been in his leadership role about 3 months, where he joined us from another player in the space. And Paul, I'm going to turn it over to you, but I'll leave you with a question. Why don't you just share with everyone what excited you about joining the VMware Tanzu team, and then you can jump into the pitch.
Yeah. Thanks, Andrew. And good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're doing well. To answer Andrew's question, what excites me? The opportunity to have a different conversation with our customers here at VMware about application modernization. I think that's a fantastic segue for SLED customers who need help modernizing their citizen-facing applications. And nobody is better positioned to do that than VMware. For the last 20 years, we've been helping customers already modernize into the virtual realm with VMs, right? We've been adding all the software, SDDC type of components. We're helping them move to the cloud. And now this next iteration of helping them move to a modern apps environment to help them digitally transform gets me excited. In addition, I'm a builder. So the opportunity to build our go-to-market for Tanzu and modern applications and build out the channel strategy, which you're going to come to learn is a significant focus for me and my team. Build out our contract vehicles, build out our disti relationships with folks like Carahsoft. It's so exciting. ISV relationships, talking to CIOs, CTOs, CISOs, right? And helping them better engage and develop relationships with citizens, patients, students. To me, that's part of my passion. And if you've worked with me in the past, I've got about 20 years in just SLED. And so I really enjoy helping these public sector servants help do more for their clients, just like all of you guys do. That's why we have a focus in this segment. So today I'm going to spend I think it's about 40 minutes, and then Q&A. If you guys have stuff, Andrew's going to be monitoring the chat. But I'm going to spend some time taking you through what is Tanzu, what is the opportunity, who are the personas that we have, and then Andrew's going to come back in and talk a little bit about what are the opportunities for our partners to become enabled, to understand the compensation plans and the programs so that you can then take the next step with us and Carahsoft to become more qualified to sell Tanzu with your clients. So let me begin. First off, here's our overview of our entire MAP BU. MAP BU is a new business unit within VMware, stands for Modern Applications Platform. So Tanzu is part of that. Tanzu is a Japanese word for containers. And if you think about where modern applications are heading, containers and Kubernetes is the future. That's why we came up with Tanzu. So Patrick Youngs is my boss. He covers the entire public sector. I've got a couple of colleagues. Mark Forstoffer, he's the director for civilian and FSI. Amanda O'Connor is the director for defense and intel. And then I have SLED. So between the three of us, all of the account managers for Tanzu work for us, and then we work for Patrick. Here's a quick view into my SLED organization. Right now, I've got 3 account managers covering the East, Central, West, and they are complemented by 3 solutions engineers. And then we have 3 Tanzu partner business managers who work for Andrew, and you can see their names on the far right side. So John, Kristen, and Karen, Their job is to help our partners get enabled, make sure you understand all the programs, the rebates, where the information is, so that you can be successful selling Tanzu. So why should you focus on Tanzu, right? What is the opportunity? Well, about 4 or 5 years ago, the market made a bet that containers and Kubernetes was going to be the next development platform for building cloud native applications. And if you take a look at some of the commercial entities like AWS, Amazon specifically, Netflix, Apple, many of these companies chose containers and Kubernetes to build their application platforms on. Why? Because you're able to take a large application and chunk it up into small microservices so you can be more agile. You could scale quickly. You could be on-prem or in the cloud. And so we saw commercial entities go in that direction. Financial services, they got to be fast and lean. Retail, fast and lean. We then saw feds moving in that direction. So Social Security Administration, right? Departments of Defense, building up these really large legacy applications and making them more nimble. Well, SLED now is also moving in that direction. You think about some of the issues and challenges that SLED had during COVID, unemployment checks. And if you're in California like I am, they had some issues getting those COVID relief checks out. Real ID, DMV, that DMV application that was developed 30 years ago wasn't able to handle the load of new clients trying to get real IDs. So you're seeing a focus now on modernization. How can we modernize these apps and make it more nimble for our clients to be able to have a better experience when they go to our customer facing websites? So if you take a look, application developers are moving more powerful decision making on what type of platforms they're going to develop on. 95% growth of containers. And we're going to see much more by 2025, 86% of the environment should be moving to containers and Kubernetes. Since a lot of this is open source, there is an opportunity to do it yourself. And if you take a look at this slide, this is the Cloud Native Computing Foundation slide of the various components and communities for building a software platform on Kubernetes. Net, there's a lot of options and it's very complex. And if you're a really good do-it-yourselfer, you could probably stand up a software platform on day one. However, day two rolls around and now we've got patching issues, we've got security vulnerabilities, we've got scalability, we got testing we have to do, and it all kind of falls apart. So folks like VMware has worked with and created Tanzu so that we could create a platform, this new software platform for developing cloud native applications on, so that all the hard work is taken out of it. It's supportable, it's a subscription-based offering, and it allows on-prem or any multitude of public clouds for the clients to run their business in. Plus, since it's Kubernetes, you can choose anybody's platform to run it in. So there's no true lock-in. So that's why the opportunity's there. And I'm just going to build this out for you so you could see the entire VMware portfolio. It's really cool on what we can offer, actually what you can offer your clients. You can help them way upstream in the build process. And then, as we've all been doing for years, if you're a VMware partner, help them with the run, right? So vSphere, vCenter, vRealize Suite, Cloud Health, VMC, all those components. And now, if you're working and moving into the networking side, right? We've got Avi and VeloCloud and all the NSX components for the network. So now we can connect all these different applications and the infrastructure across any variable type of data center. And then with our Workspace ONE environment, obviously we've got end users who are now everywhere, whether they're mobile, working from home, or a traditional office building, right? We're able to make sure they can connect to those cloud native applications, do it in a cost-effective way that doesn't have any issues with performance or scalability. And then lastly, and probably most importantly, as we all know, right, is we have to protect those environments. So with our carbon black investment, we've got all the policies, we've got the end user computing. And so now that we have security is intrinsically combined across all the business units. So whether you're building an application, just know that VMware is looking at how do we secure it from the actual container to the end user through all the components in between. If you're talking to your customer, this is a really wonderful way about explaining, how VMware can help somebody, not just in the data center, but at the end user, in the network, and now in the developer and the CTO environment as well. The portfolio is really built on 3 areas. The build area is working with developers and who have an idea that they want to put a service out in front of their citizens or their students or their patients. So how do you go from an idea into the website or into the application, right? In the quickest amount of time, allowing inherent security and agility to be built in throughout. So we've got products, whether it's Spring Runtime for Java or Steel Toe for .NET, that can help clients take a container and build it up, put it into an application catalog, be able to ensure that any outside open source components have been vetted, tested, secured to help them in the development process. We then take that build process and move it into our platform, which is Tanzu Kubernetes Grid. This is the run, right? This is where we take in those containers. Now we need to run them. And this is our new platform for running applications. The beauty here is that with a single control plane, a VI team can have traditional VMs and containers running side by side. Those IT operations staff members who have been using VMware for years can turn on a Kubernetes dial tone through vSphere as easily as they can stand up a VM. So now the developers have choice. Do they want to develop in containers? Do they want to develop on a traditional VM, right? The beauty is that the VI admins can still manage, monitor, secure, develop that so the developers have access to whichever environment they want. And if you notice also on the bottom, it's hybrid. So it can be on-prem or in any of the clouds. A lot of our clients have a cloud smart or cloud first initiative. So whether they're going to Azure or AWS or GCP, they can run Tanzu in any environment there. They can move those containers should they want to bring them back on-prem or if they want to move them to another public cloud as well. So we offer choice and consistency in any of the environments. Lastly, you need to be able to manage, right? As these cloud native applications are not just in the data center, they're virtual, right? You need to be able to see from the actual build all the way across into production. You need to observe that environment to be able to ascertain, how are we doing? Do we have production issues? Do we have performance issues? A CIO may want to see, especially one that's working like, I'll give a Department of Transportation. How many licenses can we renew within a given hour? Well, with our tool, with our observability tool, we can help them see that. In addition, how many CPU cycles, how many memory cycles is that taken? What's the network bandwidth, right? So now you have this observability all across the continuum so that you can ensure that there's no performance degradation. Service mesh is a global namespace, so it allows you to have a giant type of environment. So our really large clients like Health and Human Services, departments of justice who have really big state legacy applications can now create a global namespace across on-prem and public cloud environments. And then mission control is actually the policy and the operations. So being able to take a look at the total environment as well. This is the total portfolio of the software. What we've done to make it easy for our partners is to bundle it into 3 editions. And these are wonderful. and they can be bundled and turned on right through vSphere. So my message here is that if you're working with a client who's looking at upgrading to vSphere 7 or adding more vSphere licenses, both Tanzu Tanzu Standard, the buttons are already within vSphere. They can get to it through vCenter. It is an additional license, and I'll show you that in a minute. But for them to be able to start playing with Kubernetes and learning about containers, it's all built right in. And you could see here the sales motions. This is the wonderful thing is we've made these channel centric. So Tanzu Basic is really just turning on Kubernetes on-prem on top of vSphere, right? It's just that type of environment. And it's a wonderful opportunity to say, hey, Mr. Customer, are you thinking about moving into containers and Kubernetes? If so, bundled within is Tanzu Basic. Would you like to take a look at that license? And by the way, it's $525 right now. It's on a big promo. I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. Tanzu Standard takes all the same features that Basic has and then makes it cloud enabled. So now the client can run their Kubernetes environments in any of the public clouds I mentioned previously. We've got a document to compare the various basic, standard, and advanced licenses. And by the way, advanced, and this sales motion is really channel with my team because it's really looking at that whole DevSecOps, build, run, manage, right? Whereas the first two, basic, standard, is really around the run component. So we want to help customers create the platform. Hope that's helpful. More details around that. And by the way, if I didn't mention this previously, my contact info, pmaunder@vmware.com. If you have any questions about this, you want me on a deeper dive call with you and your team, your AEs, your SEs, let me know. Happy to do that. How do you sell it now, right? It's a different persona than I think that most folks have dealt with in the past if you've been selling a lot of the VMware infrastructure type of software. The beauty is you have two ways and more to get in. I call it the bottoms up through the IT operations side, and then the tops down through the developer application side of the house. If we start from the bottom and work our way up, right, what we're doing with Tanzu is providing stability to the IT ops teams. This is a great opportunity here to take the VI admins and show them that, hey, there's another model for software development that's coming if you haven't heard of Kubernetes. And VMware opened up the source code within vSphere to add Kubernetes built in. We want to show you how you can enable it and turn it on. And in a minute, I'll show you also some of the enablement resources we have for the VI admins to become certified in Tanzu. We've got free training through either Modern Apps Ninja, Kube Academy. They can get a Tanzu certification. And I think that'll mean a lot to our customers and prospects who want to continue to be relevant to their IT leadership team, who want to further develop their skills, and then be able to have a great relationship with developers in the future. The other way, and this is fairly new, I believe, from a VMware partner perspective in selling Tanzu, is actually going and talking to the application owners. It's a difficult conversation if you hadn't had it in the past. Developers can be tough, right? You got to understand languages and CI/CD pipelines and build models and open source. And so this is where my team and I can help you get enabled. Andrew's partner business managers, they can help you with the talk tracks. But this is also where the bigger opportunities happen. In general, we lead with an approach around application rationalization, right? Many of our clients have hundreds, if not thousands of applications, and they're trying to figure out, what do I do with these applications? Do I leave them alone? Do I replatform them? Do I refactor some of them so that they can take advantage of microservices? What do I do? Do I rehost them to a whole new platform? I don't know. So the beauty is, one of the other wonderful reasons why I'm over here is Tanzu Labs, who's our professional services team, can work with your sales team, your services team, to help build an app or portfolio navigator for our clients so they can rationalize their hundreds or thousands of applications and say, all right, these 10 core apps are ripe for containerization. These ones you probably want to leave alone. It'd be too long, or they're too expensive to convert. These apps you can re-platform and help build a strategy for the clients to get to that modernization or digital transformation journey. So those are just a couple of the ways to go. There's more. Talk to me and my team and we'll help you out.
Yeah, thanks so much, Paul. And I think you laid out that opportunity, right? There's not only going to be huge growth from a license acquisition perspective, but the services piece is really where you can be the most profitable and where we need help, right? We are a software company. We are growing and onboarding new customers at a rate that we cannot service via our Tanzu Labs and VMware TSO team. So we need partners at the platform level and at the application level. Many of you out there may have DevOps and modern application organizations already. Some of you may be at the beginning of your journey. So the first place is getting that expertise, getting trained up. We've got the traditional VMware competencies in place, a solutions competency for sales and pre-sales, as well as a master services competency for those partners that are looking to be our go-to services partners. We've got hands-on labs. We've got tons of sales assets to help you build your pipeline, from demand gen campaigns and partner demand center to sales playbooks and scripts that can get the conversation started. And then you can leverage our Tanzu Alliances team. We can bring in Paul's team and the federal team. We've got folks that can help support you once you get a customer on the hook. Once you have that application conversation that you may not be, super comfortable leading, bring us in and we want to joint sell. We want to set you guys up in a position to, sell your own services, deliver them yourselves, and build a practice off of that. But I talked about the competencies. Those of you, you're all VMware partners today, so you know what our solutions competencies and master services competencies are. We launched our cloud native master services competency last year. We've already got over 30 partners that have achieved that, and we want to grow that. We want to help you guys build out platform capabilities. We want to help you understand how to have application rationalization conversations. So we're taking a lot of that pivotal IP from the application side of the house, and we are documenting that, building that into our competency plan. As you get these competencies, obviously your back-end rebates go up. So, that 22% solution rewards is the highest of any solution platform today. So it's great as you sell those licenses, you rack up those back-end solution rewards. Some really interesting and exciting new incentives. VMware traditionally, we pay people around license resell. Well, as we shift to SaaS, to cloud, to modern applications, we're trying to, incentivize partners around services. So we just launched this year our customer lifecycle incentives. There's 3 solutions in VMware that are eligible here: Tanzu, VCF, and Workspace ONE. So for MSC partners, once you gain that eligibility and that status, we'll pay you to do an application or a platform assessment, $15K. That will lead to an opportunity, which you can then drive license sales, and then we want to position you to sell those services directly. For a POC, we'll pay you guys $25K. So from a partner profitability perspective, we're helping you build out your practice, position your services on the front end, helping you sell, and then we want you to lead those deployment services. We have a huge focus on Tanzu from a net new logo perspective, from a joint solution. So if you sell Tanzu with another VMware solution, and we've got basic bundled with vSphere, we've got standard bundled with VCF, we're going to be doing a lot more of co-selling our VMC and our cloud products. You're going to get all those kickers, 22%, the largest back-end solution rewards of any franchise platform at VMware. We're really trying to focus on partner profitability. We need your help, so we want to make this business successful and profitable for you guys.
Let me add a little bit. The acquire new customer or sell new Tanzu to an existing customer. This is pretty much wide open. There is a massive market here for us to go after. So this 5%, 4%, because that rebate's pretty much a given, right? So this is great. 22%, 21. Andrew, thank you very much. Appreciate you adding. Obviously, wrapping up, call to action. Attach Tanzu to every vSphere, VCF, VMC deal, or ELA. There's incentives for you. Plus, I just think it's a wonderful thing to do because it's top of mind for your customers. So it's a great opportunity to have that modern conversation with your client, your VI admin, maybe your change agent or your CTO. Second, leverage our discovery workshops, the app portfolio navigator services, have those 5 R's of software rationalization conversations with your customer. And then follow the dollars. There's lots of federal funds flowing into SLED right now to modernize applications. So whether it's a health and human services, public safety, transportation, labor, right? Whether it's at a state, a county, or a city, they're all looking at how do we enhance the citizen experience. Ask them, see if they're getting federal funds. A lot of those funds you could look up in the, it's all public facing web pages. Maybe a city that you're working with, you see they're getting $80 million for a modernization effort. Go talk to them. Let's work together between VMware and your company and provide a solution, right, to their woes to help them have better experiences for their citizens. And with that, I'm done.
Thanks for listening. If you'd like more information on how Carahsoft or VMware can assist your organization, please visit www.carasoft.com or email us at vmware@carasoft.com. Thanks again for listening and have a great day.